Rayan Cherki, 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 Rayan.
عادة وتدخل الفار شفنا.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
I've got to get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Rayan Cherki,
عادة وتدخل الفار شفنا الإعادة وتدخل الفار.
Morning. I'm not panicking, I promise you.
Here at we at the South Stand, we don't condone that behaviour.
No, it's fine. You know, slapping girls is very nice.
Oh, I don't condone that. Yeah, just to confirm. No. I don't condone any of that behaviour. No. But listen,
you're doing well when you got your guests reading out the fine print.
I'm shaking.
He's got the jazz hands.
Yeah.
Hold
All I can say, Daps, is we officially have not signed anyone yet.
Oh, fuck off with you officials, right? We just had this conversation backstage.
What's to sign the piece of paper called a contract?
No. Hold on. They probably have. Right, bro. They have been flown into Manchester. They've been put up in a hotel. They have both done their medicals, right?
Right.
Now, and furthermore, they have both passed their medicals. Manchester City have then hired a private jet to fly, I believe it's Ait Nouri, back out to Sweden to play his international game. They are done. They're done. Don't worry about them two. Just fucking be nervous about Cherki.
What is going on if the window shuts at 7 o'clock?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. What's going on? What are they doing?
So here's where I am.
Right,
I am. Shout out to everyone. Please smash a like if you're watching this already. Right. So on Saturday, we did a show on Saturday. During that show, because I don't think I opened it till afterwards, I opened a message from a friend of mine. I won't disclose his name, but if he's watching this, he knows who I'm talking about. And it was 3 envelopes for Dakota in Manchester, all with different people's names on. And one of them read Ait Nouri, right? So they're basically room keys. And it said, and he sent me that. And then he said, Daps, Ait Nouri is staying at Dakota and confirmed medical has been done and he has passed it. Now, that was about 2-3 hours before it got announced that he's passed his medical, right? The next morning, he then sent me the same thing, Reijnders, right? Not the envelopes, but again, Reijnders medical completed. Again, 3 hours later, came out medical completed. Now, the same person has told me about 10:30 last night, told me that. So all of yesterday, I was saying, any updates? He said, medical is not booked. Medical is not booked. No medical booked. No medical booked. Last night, he told me that the medical team had been contacted and put on standby for today. So at this point, that tells me, where is the other two, by the way? He told me when the medicals were booked. So there is no medical booked for Cherki yet, but the medical staff have been put on standby to expect a medical at any point.
So what's the hold-up? Do you know what the hold-up is?
Right. So what I've read, and by the way, all of this, that bit not on Twitter, the rest of this is all on Twitter, right? Yeah. Apparently, I believe it was Eid on Saturday.
Yeah.
And out of respect, he kind of said, look, I'm doing nothing today. This is, and apparently City's board said, okay, out of respect, we will leave it until after the game is complete on Sunday. Because now the one bit that I don't get on this, and I will be honest, because I've been nervous on Twitter as well. And people are saying, yeah, but Daps, he's playing a game. They can't negotiate. Now, correct me if I am wrong. Yes, so here, plus he's on international. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. City have already agreed terms with him, right? So that's the one bit I don't get is him being on an international. I don't understand how that could have anything to do with City and Lyon negotiating.
I agree. I agree with you.
The one thing I would say is unless it is to do with that fucking gentleman's agreement that ultimately he needs to be kind of it, or he needs to be involved to discuss with him, look, this 3 million that apparently they owe you, are you willing to waive that? So maybe that might be it, but I don't know. At this stage, look, the one thing I would say is that he couldn't come for a medical until Monday earliest. So maybe City thought there's no point, because none of us truly know how the negotiations go, do we? None of us have sat in on them, right? So maybe it was a case of City knew that, okay, well, we're going to give Lyon a bit of cooling off time and we'll come back to the ball apparently Sunday night. But don't know. One other thing I did hear as well, actually, is that so City put in a bid apparently of about 23 million. I did get told that apparently Lyon are asking for about 40 million, right? Now, some people are saying to me that they feel we're taking the piss offering 23 million. Some people think they're taking the piss pushing up the asking price.
But it's clear to me that they are haggling over a sale price.
Right. Oh no, 100%. This is all over the sale price. But
and I'll be honest with you, Ticky's record in the last 2 years, he couldn't close my back door. He really couldn't.
Agreed, but so far, Viana's fucking massive pause. But since Viana's been in, he's closed too very well, right? And I know, Alan, you're going to say they're not closed yet, but they are, right?
Well, I've worked in the agency game as in recruitment. It's still the same. You've got to sign contracts to get deals done, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing they teach you is a deal is not done until it's signed. Right? It's true.
I get, yeah, but Alan, you're presuming that those two deals are not signed, right? All right, let me tell you how ultimately I can pretty much confirm that those deals are signed. Pretty much, right? Ait Nouri has been flown in, done his medical, and flown back out to play for Sweden. Yeah, you know the registration happens tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I doubt Ait Nouri will be back in time for the registration. So we know that not only did he have his medical, he also went round the academy. I would imagine Ait Nouri has signed and everything before he flew out. Otherwise,
so Jack Grealish and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers have signed, but Cherki's not.
But Cherki's not. Now, Cherki hasn't signed. Someone's just said that second offer's been rejected. LB, where did you see that? And by the way,
I saw the updated one about 45 minutes ago saying they're back talking.
Yeah, they're back talking. But again, Alan, to say they don't know what they're doing is just overreactionary. Like, mate, Alan, have you bought a house before?
Yeah.
Right, was your first bid accepted every time you bought a house?
No.
Was your second bid accepted every time you bought a house?
Yes.
Well, you've done pretty well, but I mean, often it takes people 4 or 5 bids, especially if there is a difference from 23 million and 40 million, that you're going to keep going till you get to the point. Now, the thing is that I want you guys' opinion on this, right? Who, LB, if you could just say, instead of telling me to scroll up, LB, if you could possibly just say, because I'm kind of trying to host as well, so if you could just put who said that, that would be good. But if there's a big, right, so if we got told that Cherki we could get for, say, 25, 30 million euros, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Now, are Lyon in the wrong for now turning around and saying, actually, we want 40 million?
No.
I agree with you. But some people think we're taking the piss. I actually think a club, right, if there's not a release clause in his contract, they can ask for whatever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could also change the goalpost. Because his performance against Germany, that straight away, because they've been dicking around City, which they have been.
Yeah.
They're well within their rights to add another 5 million to the price just on that performance.
That's what I was going to say. That performance, the first one against
Germany, was
Spain, against Spain, right? That performance will have made, because let's be clear, that wasn't just a performance for Lyon, that was a debut for France. Now, I'm pretty certain the minute you make an international debut, your price probably goes up.
Of course it does.
You score a goal like that, right? Your price goes up. So I think this is a thing. Although I do understand that we have to be patient with this, and that I think if there has been a second bid and that second bid has been rejected, that's a good thing, right? Because it means we're getting closer to a deal being done.
Lyon will know to what point, because as much as we can talk about, how much the selling team has the power.
Yeah,
you got to remember the circumstances that Lyon are in as well too. The fact that Cherki only has a year left in his contract.
Yeah,
the fact that they're somewhere close to around about €250 million in debt as well too. They're not going to want to, be playing hardball too much, knowing full well that, in 12 months' time, this player could walk out the door for free, and all that money goes into his and his agency's coffers. In terms of signing on bonuses as well too. So sooner or later, they're definitely going to want to meet in the worst case, meet in the middle and carry on, because it's not going to. The last thing a club that's strapped for cash right now will be wanting to worry about a few extra euros here and there. They will want to get it done.
Have interest to
I think
pay,
sooner or later. I think sooner or later, even if it comes down to 11th hour, we'll get the paperwork done. We'll get the paperwork sorted. But to what Alan said as well too, it's like at the end of the day, we can only speculate. But as long as all the formalities are sorted, they can wait till next week before they make anything public. So at the end of the day, it's like there's enough there. I'm in Alan's camp as well too. I always say I don't believe until they're wearing the shirt, and that's fine. More than happy to do that. But when you just start putting a few things together, it's always the personal terms agreed, and then most clubs don't agree until like 5, 6, 7 days after the personal terms are anyway. So it's all just a case of it's just process of elimination. Once another thing's done, another domino falls, and then eventually, the whole pack of cards go down. So it'll take time, but I think at the end of the day, both it's purely justification that sooner or later both clubs will come to a mutual understanding.
We hope. That is Alan. I get it. A deal's not done till the paperwork's signed. Cherki, I agree with. Reijnders and Reijnders. Hold on. Sorry, 1 second.
Cherki's probably the most important one.
I actually disagree. I actually think this one is the most important one.
Teijanni Reijnders.
Thank you. I just need a reminder.
Do you know what's more important? Seeing if you're going to pronounce it correctly for one step.
That's why I did it. Reijnders, Teijanni Reijnders. That's why I did it.
Someone said Teijanni Reijnders.
But I think I still, however much I want Cherki, right? I think that was the most important signing for me. Getting a fucking an 8, an all action 8, a box to box for me was more important.
Should be ready to go from game one.
Yeah. And seeing what he said as well. So that one actually, I do believe for the club was the most important signing. But me personally, I want Cherki. And it's. I'll be honest with you. When it came out on Saturday that City are willing to, they don't want to be held to ransom and they are willing to walk away. That worries me until after the Club World Cup, because I think if we walk away, I worry.
Someone else can come in and nab him.
Yeah. And my whole thing, my worry would be that that we piss Cherki off. That would be my worry, because Cherki wants this. From what we're reading, Cherki really wants.
Wouldn't it be more about the fact that Lyon might be pissing Cherki off?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Here's a little link. What's going on here? Oh, can I click on it? Yeah, I have to go in YouTube. 1 second. This Oos guy, apparently he's the one that we should be paying attention to. Where's it gone?
Yeah, he seems to be he's been really accurate this summer window.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll share my screen in a second. Let me just move this over here. And then share screen. Bear with me. Which one is that? Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Where's it gone?
Another thing too, as well, Daps, is I'm looking at. Yeah, I think an important thing too, from a Lyon perspective as well, would be they'll certainly want to look at a contract that has some sort of add-ons with it as well too, because if there's one thing a cash-strapped team would love to have is a constant flow of some form of revenue.
Yeah.
Now, if they come to an agreement where it's like, I'm just going to throw a figure out there, say 35 million euros with maybe 5 to 10 million euros worth of reachable add-ons, wins the Premier League in his first season, or or it hits an X amount of number of assists or goal contributions or something like that over the course of the first couple of years or something of his City career.
Yeah.
Then Lyon's going to be wanting to work that way, because at the end of the day, regardless of what happens with their finances, at least they know that they're still making money from players that aren't even walking on their pitch anymore. It's going to be important for them as well too. So I think at the end of the day, I think that's the benefit of having add-ons, because I think it's a good way to sort of meet in the middle.
Yeah, agreed. So let's see. So Oos has just said so. Yesterday I had to ask everyone, because obviously I'm quite new to this Twitter thing. I don't really pay attention too much to Twitter. But a new improved. But apparently this Oos guy has been spot on, and people have told me, he's been absolutely spot on. He's not an ITK, but he really knows his shit. So maybe he is an ITK. Anyway, a new and improved bid has been made, and with just 1 day remaining, it's clear they won't back out now. If they had planned to walk away, they would have already moved on to another target, and the Club World Cup is simply too important. There's too much at stake, especially in terms of financial gain for the club, not to prioritise it. I agree with him on this. I must admit, I think 2 bits. Firstly, the fact
very reassuring.
Yeah.
It's very reassuring.
Yeah. I think the main thing is he's right that if we thought that we were right, let's go back to what Khaldoon said, right? Khaldoon said, that one, thank you. Khaldoon said that we're going to be very swift and very clear with our business, right? Now, I don't believe he would have said that if we were going to go in for someone, put 2 bids and then walk away. That doesn't sound swift or clear to me. That sounds very confused. So I think if we go back to what Khaldoon said, he's spot on. We're not going to have come this far, be 36 hours away from having to register for the Club World Cup, and all of a sudden decide, actually, now we're not going to get him. We're going to go and get someone else. I also will go back to what I've said the other day, that Cherki has just lit up the international scene with that goal against Spain and that performance. Twitter's all talking about him. City will know that. FIFA will know that. And they'll want him in that Club World Cup. So, again, I can't see us walking. All these things make me think City wouldn't walk away from this. I think we're too far down the road to walk away.
They're doing some dicking about. I know that.
You don't know that. How do you know, Alan? So Mr. Allen, who doesn't believe anything until he sees the shirt, right, all of a sudden knows factually that City are dicking about.
Well,
how do you know that, Al?
Haggling over a few million, which is in football terms is nothing.
Hold on, we could be haggling over about 17 million. which is over half of, which is more than 50% of fucking what we offered.
Well,
So
we'll soon find out because it goes on past 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to be pretty fucking annoyed.
You already sound pretty annoyed.
I am. Chicky, last 2 years, negotiating deals has been pretty piss poor.
Yeah, but so far this season, Viana doing it. How's he been?
Well, he's done the other two, apparently.
Huh?
He's done the other two, apparently.
Calm down. Yeah, do you know what, everyone? I'm going to support this as well. If everyone could please start getting LS Jackson trending, just on Twitter. Anything you do on Twitter, just put hashtag LS Jackson, please. For the rest of today, LS Jackson. Let's just get it trending on Twitter.
Is that a combination of twerking and trending?
Let's just say it's a massive new signing that I'm looking into. Right. Hold tight, Dens. Right. So on Cherki, I guess the other one that we've seen is as well, I think Fabrizio's come out this morning, and what has he said? Are you two refreshing Twitter as much as me?
No.
I don't have Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I'll just keep an eye on the Google alerts.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah. Must be nice. Actually, no.
It's fantastic.
For someone that hates Twitter, I'm actually on Twitter quite a lot at the moment. I'm quite enjoying it. So Fabrizio said 56 minutes ago, Manchester City and Olympic Lyon are again in direct contact today for Rayan Cherki deal. The proposal will be improved with new bid to follow for Cherki to join Man City as he strongly wants to move. I think that's the one difference we will have today is, whereas the last couple of days, Cherki definitely, well, the last probably 5-6 days, Cherki has only been able to give this limited attention from himself, right? Because he ultimately has been on an international camp. He will now be, and if he does want this move as much as everyone's saying, as much as we're hearing, he's going to be on top of this one himself now. He's probably going to be on the blower to his agent saying, what the fuck's happening with Lyon? I want to be booking a flight to Manchester. I want to be getting over there. I want to be getting ready for this Club World Cup. I want to know what I'm doing with my son. To be fair, he wants to know what he's doing with the next 4 weeks of his life, right? So,
yeah,
sorry. I am panicking, but...
Eventually, yes.
I'm trying my fucking best not to show it.
Good. I want you to do me a favour. In the middle of the night here, you're awake in the day. If something happens today, just text me and wake me up, and I'll be pleased.
Well, Alan, actually, here's a bone to... Now, this is where we put football on hold, actually, before we move into this. There is 400 people watching it, 485 people watching it. Let's get that over 500. Do you know the easiest way to get the number of people watching this video? The easiest way is for the 300 of you that have not liked this video yet to like the video, right? So if all of a sudden these likes go up massively, YouTube's going to go, oh, fucking hell, loads of people are paying attention to that video. It must be great content. Let me push it out to more people in the YouTube world. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. All of a sudden, the thumbnail's up in their faces. Bosh! So please, people, could you bosh the like button? It will help a lot.
Put it this way, people. If you don't like the video, Alan will call you shit.
Yeah. Hey, actually, and if you don't like the video, right, I will find a way to get hold of all of your numbers if you haven't liked this video, right? See, it's just gone up to 494 watching. See what I said? 184 have liked it now. If it goes up even more, that'll go over the 500 mark.
No, that's how Alan's fear-mongering works.
Well, what I was going to say is... don't make me find all of your numbers and give them to Alan, right? Because if I do that, he's going to be ringing all of you lot at mental times in the night. So please, please, please. Now, Alan... Perhaps
Martin was telling me the other day he was doxing himself on a Twitter space. He was giving out his address to people.
Who was?
Yeah. Alan was.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, if I lived in fucking Outer Mongolia, then I'd be going, yeah, fuck it. You want some? Come to my house and giving them my address.
Funny. That's funny. That's how we look at Melbourne from here.
Oh, hello, lad. Hello, lad. Yeah.
Right. But let me someone just don't see this one just had me. Bomber Cherki to stay at Lyon. I didn't see the just imagine daps and fucking you know what happens?
I can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you want it on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
I've got to get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. I've got to get out of here.
I like the way the girl's getting battered on.
Stand.
Oh, sorry, doing this play again. Right.
Here at the South Stand, we do not condone that sort of behaviour.
Yeah, just to keep. Yeah, we're going to keep having to do that, aren't we? But Alan, last night, mate.
Yeah.
Just on Alan Watch, because it's always good to do a bit of Alan Watch.
Did I text you?
No. Hold on. Let me find you. So.
Here we go. Daps. I didn't text you, did I?
No, you didn't text me. But right.
I did send you a link.
So hold on. No. So you are Alan Howarth, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Alan Howarth. I won't give you address, but Alan Howarth. If it is 9:24 in England, 9:21:24 in England, what time is it in Australia?
Is it PM or AM?
Sorry, if it's 21:24,
yeah,
9:24 PM in the UK.
Yeah,
that's 6:24 at this time of year. 6:24 AM the following day.
Okay.
Yeah, we're 9 hours in front of you.
Right. So on a bank holiday Monday, what the fuck are you doing up at 6 in the morning?
I get up at 6.
You're a nutter. What time do you go to bed?
No, I wake up at 5 o'clock most mornings.
And message me.
Then get up.
Okay, fair enough. I thought
Daps, you're completely glossing over the fact that Alan is a complete and utter fossil. Anything past 6 a.m. for him is just too much of a toil on the body. I've slept too much. My sleep was shit.
yeah. He needs to get up. And
do you know what? And do you know what? I could be a hypocrite because, to be honest, I've been like that ever since coming out of the pandemic.
Oh,
if I sleep past about 7:30 in the morning, I feel like garbage.
Yeah.
See this?
Yeah. I agree. I've been the same. You weren't quite.
You see this? LB, who said that, please? I need to know this right now.
Shit.
No, I think he's winding up.
I saw it.
He's winding up because he's 2/3 of this panel absolutely losing their marbles over this right now.
LB, I need confirmation. All right, LB, listen.
We always knew that PSG were showing a little bit of interest, weren't they?
LB, any more of that, you little shit, and I'm fucking timing you out for 24 hours, you bastard. Listen, you're playing with a man's mental health here. You're not allowed to do that. All right, here we go. Fucking hell. Well,
this LB, 2/3 of this panel are going to get slapped up like that woman on the plane.
And as for this, Dap, stop worrying. Martin said it was done. Oh, well, fucking hell. Martin got the swipe on his phone, did he? Hold tight, Martin. Actually, speak on him, he'll appear.
Cherki has been a target for PSG for about 2 weeks.
Hold on. You have just gone on Google and typed in Cherki PSG, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, bro, don't do that. That's like that's like typing "Will I die from a heart attack" on Google, right?
Yeah, WebMD. Like, yeah, just I've got a bit of a headache. You may have cancer. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You may have. All respect to anybody who has or had cancer, but like, talk about blown out of proportion. Right up your alley, Alan. Did you invent WebMD?
Well, my mum's just actually had a hip replacement, and it's actually gone really, like, I've seen a different side to my mum, the most focused woman, because sometimes she's a bit negative at times sometimes, but I tell you what, she's been so focused. She's walking without, I think she had the operation 5 weeks ago. She's already walking without crutches, without a walking stick. She's doing unbelievably. But before it, she was really worried that she was going to die from the hip replacement. And when I spoke to her about it and said, like, what makes you think that you're going to die? And she said, well, there's complications on 3% of the operations. I was like, okay, that's complications on 3%.
Yeah.
Of that 3%, how many die? And it was like, well, Google have said. I was like, Mum,
No.
go and speak to.
And they're saying, is that 3% of that particular operation, or is that 3% of all operations?
Exactly.
Big difference, yeah.
But no, shout out to my mum. She's doing really, really well. So
Big up.
yeah, and shout out to Anthony Landolfi as well, who's saying, "Go City from Adelaide." Who's near Adelaide? Either of you?
Adelaide's about an hour away on the plane from me, and about 2 hours away.
Yeah, he's closer than I am. Adelaide's about an hour and a half, hour and 3/4 from Sydney.
Yeah, and an hour.
Good sound. Cracking white country to the north.
An hour on the plane.
Oh, another City Extra tweet I'm hearing. Let me go and check while you lot talk amongst yourselves. Bear with me. Refresh time.
Alan, did you see? We're talking about the 11 o'clock kickoff, and I know you're not too fussed about the Club World Cup, but 11 o'clock's going to be a nice kickoff. But if we win the group, did you see the quarterfinal around of 16 or all 11 o'clock as well?
No, 11 o'clock at night or day.
Day.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say to you the other day. Were you under the impression it was 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, well,
it's East Coast United States. They're 14 hours behind. So anything that happens in prime time is like morning tea time here.
So when is the first game? What day is the first game?
The first game is against Wydad. That's on the 18th of June, but that's like 2 o'clock in the morning here. It's a day game. Right. It's like a midday game. Then the second game against Lyon, that's prime time in the East Coast United States, which makes it 11 a.m. here. And then, sorry?
When's that one?
Monday 23rd.
Okay.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Juventus one is like a Friday 27th at like 5 a.m. So to be honest, like one's bad, one's really good, and one's okay. One's actually what we're used to. 5 a.m. That's Champions League time.
Yeah, it is Champions League time. 5 a.m. for us.
Yeah. But then, as I said, if we top the group, round of 16 and the quarterfinal will be prime time. So 11 a.m.
Hold on, but when you say prime time for you lot, that's 11 a.m.
I'm talking about USA prime. Mate, anything with the sun up is prime time for us. Like, anybody who's not from Australia, I don't think understands the perspective or the logistics for us of actually having to get up and watch City play. When you break it down, like when you talk about what the usual prime time for football is.
Hold on, I do. Yeah. That's why I questioned that Alan has watched Burnley 7 times and Lyon 3 times. Right.
The reason why I've got a mate lives down the road, right? Who's a Burnley fan from Burnley.
You've got a lot of mates, Alan, and they're usually from Burnley or Whitefield or
Bury or yeah. So I go down to his house. He's talking about it. We have on demand, and we could put it on and watch.
Oh, fucking hell, you got a TV. Oh, my God, breaking news. They've got TVs in Australia. Fucking hell.
You see more football here than you do in England.
Yeah. Well,
so for us, the earlier the kickoff in the UK, the better that is for us. So if we get the 12:30 game, depending what time of the year, that's either 9:30 or 11:30 on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So that's party for us. That's disco. Like we love that sort of thing. Doesn't matter. That could be the Manchester Derby. That could be a cup match against Grimsby Town. You'll get the same turnout at the pub.
Alan, sorry, got one for you.
Go on.
Bear with me.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
Got a few.
Go on.
Looks like we've got a few bombers coming through.
Now, wait. What's he got?
No, not that.
Oh.
Bear with me. So I need to move screens. Move that one over here. Open this one back up. Lovely. Present. Alan, you'll love this one.
Go on then.
Teijanni Reijnders has signed his City contract as new Manchester City player with official statement to follow next.
But
look at the tweet below it. That's sad. Just dissolve the club now.
Yeah,
just dissolve the club. Gone. We're done. We can no longer function as a club.
Well, this one.
The amount of Ballon d'Ors that man was robbed of is criminal.
Well, this one for me is a perfect segue to move on to. Someone just said that there's been a tweet from City Extra. Apparently, we're looking at Chelsea's third choice goalkeeper to come in as our third choice goalkeeper. But with news of Scott Carson going, perfect way to segue. Right, does that suggest that Ederson's leaving?
Well, you can't get rid of every single keeper you've got there. That's what would happen.
No. But I don't even believe Scott Carson this season was our third choice keeper. I think probably the younger lads. I'm pretty certain we had a younger lad. Scott Carson was kept there because he's Eddie's best mate, and for the whole part of
he was a clubhouse man.
Yeah, he was a clubhouse
man.
That. Yeah. But there has been links coming out that that City are interested in Donnarumma from PSG.
No, what about Trafford?
Hold on.
Don't.
Alan, hold on. Yeah. News has come out that Manchester City are interested in Donnarumma. Now, do either of you two believe that we're interested in Donnarumma, or do you think that Donnarumma wants a new contract at PSG?
Correct.
And that we are being used to kind of push
We've
that.
seen it before. We've seen it before.
Yeah, that's my thought on it. I can't see. I mean, the only thing could be is maybe if PSG wanted Chevalier because they wanted a French keeper, but I don't think so. Donnarumma has just been very pivotal in everything that PSG have done, right? I think he's pushing for a new contract. And furthermore, I'll be honest with you, however much some fans might be on the Donnarumma bandwagon, we all know that Pep isn't playing with the Donnarumma. He's not. Like, we got rid of Joe Hart to bring in fucking ultimately Bravo, then Ederson, right? To bring in a keeper that's good with his feet. I can't see Pep changing his opinion. Pep still wants keepers with his feet. So I can't see it. But do we think that, right, what do you two think? Do you think Eddie stays or goes?
I think he stays.
You think he stays, yeah? Alan?
I think he stays, but I would like to see Trafford come back to City.
We know you. Fucking hell. This guy just wants to link it all back to Trafford.
Yeah.
I get it.
Wait, was I right about his feet?
No. Yeah, I think he's great with his feet. Pause. Massive
Change your mind. You change your mind.
No. Now that I know he's good with his feet, if Ederson goes, I want, like, I'm not going to say James Trafford is my number one choice, right? My number one choice would be Garcia, right? However, I don't believe. I also like to be a bit realistic about things and think Garcia is only going to Barcelona for me. I also think this homegrown quota thing is a thing, and the fact that he also ticks that box, I think Trafford makes the most sense if Ederson goes.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you.
I also do quite like the idea of, and I'm pretty certain it was one of you two, I think, that said about even if Ederson stays, if he doesn't sign even if he stays, we bring in Trafford under the plan that, look, this season you're going to play all cup games, you're going to play a few Premier League games as well, and then next season Eddie's going to go and you're going to become our number one. I'm happy with that as well. So, I'd get Trafford in as second choice. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's a long-term keeper for us.
Yeah. Got another Aussie love. Good night, mate.
Oh, my God. What have you got on your head? You got tea cozy on your head?
Look, mate, when you're out and about, Alan.
Did you at least hit the kettle up before you put it on your head?
Yeah, I got a tea here as well. So
nice.
So, do you know what? This is confusing to me. Like, anyone that follows Steve on Instagram, you'll see Steve is over in Africa at the moment, right? And I saw him in the back of a car yesterday. Well, I saw him with a woolly hat on, and I'm thinking, nah, how are you wearing a woolly hat in a country like that?
It's the Southern Hemisphere, mate. Winter time.
Winter.
Yeah, but you think that, but like people just don't understand that just because a certain part of the world is synonymous with hot weather doesn't mean that they can't have cooler climates. People don't realize, like the Outback Australia, for example, yes, we've got some of the hottest places in the world, but yet people don't realize that during the dry season, which has just started, there's a lot of parts of that country where basically it may not even get above, say, 5 or 10 degrees Celsius even in the daytime.
Yeah.
It's funny how the world works. But
it's just, I also see, like the sun's out there though. It looks hot. Like the sun is out and he's got a woolly hat on. I'm thinking, and yeah, anyway, it does look unreal. Anyone, if you don't follow Steve, make sure you do and go and check out his story. They've now moved from Johannesburg to is it Kruger National Park? And the villa they've got there looks insane. And I messaged him this morning saying, I'm not gonna lie, I said, when you're in Manchester, you live in my dream, right? And now you're living, because I've always wanted to do a safari so much, man. He's like, unbelievable.
I was going to say, Daps, have we touched on your boy yet? Trafford yet?
We are. You've joined at the perfect time.
We've been talking about Trafford, absolutely.
Nick, I like that you call him my boy, right? And
I've never seen anyone push for a player as hard as you have, Trafford.
Oh, have you not seen that? Have you not? Well, listen. This is where I come in as Alan's little bro. Alan put me on him.
Did he?
Mate,
There's a rosy future for you.
James Trafford for ages, and I'm telling you, I have. Unbelievable.
There we go.
How many Burnley games are you watching, Alan?
My mate down the road. My mate down the road is a Burnley fan. So
Nick, despite the fact that you have to get up mad early in the morning, apparently Alan has watched 7 Burnley games, and he's also watched 3 Lyon games as well.
I'm not topping that. There is 0 chance, Alan. You're up at like 3 o'clock.
Look what he's done to me.
How would you know? You've been coming to my house for the last 8 weeks. You've been saying, but never turned up.
Little bit of personal beef going on here.
DVD.
Hey, I wouldn't go to his house either. He'll probably fucking lock you in and not let you leave.
6'5" as well.
Who is?
James Trafford.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nick. Nick,
I wish I was 6'5", Alan.
Nick, don't go to Alan's house. Dave went there. Fucking, he hasn't managed to get back home yet. Alan's kept him. He keeps him locked in. Don't go near Alan's house.
I was going to say, Alan's just got the TV permanently running with Lyon and Burnley games in this.
No, but what? So, Nick, what's your thoughts on James? As you see, I'm so into James Trafford. I've made a slide on him. What's your thoughts on him?
Again, I'm not sold as a first choice. I know he's had a really good run in the championship and he's done really well. I think he kept, I can't remember how many games he went though, like clean sheets for.
29.
Yeah, which is, again, it's a great achievement. I'm just not sure
on what
if he would be the right choice as a number 1. I like your point, Daps, if he came in as a backup, but I just
question is he willing to do that?
Yeah, I can't
That's
see
the big
him
that's the big caveat.
taking that second fiddle approach, even for a year or so.
Why not, as an alternative, buy him and loan him back to Burnley for the year?
Do you know what?
He's going to be in the Premier League.
Have you seen? Hold on, what's this? I've just seen. No, that's nothing. Have you seen some of the things he said though? So I think City Extra were posting some of the things he said, and he was basically talking about that he didn't want to leave City, but he wanted to be first choice, and he said so it was best for us that I left, and I thought us, and it almost sounded a bit like, all right. He wanted that buyback clause in there as well. It almost sounded like he deep down does want to come back to City. I don't think.
I was going to say it is one of those things where it would really help, obviously, our English quota.
Yeah.
Having an English keeper, if you can get an English first choice and maybe third choice keeper, I think that goes a long way in solving kind of our English quota issues, especially because it's realistically the right back market's pretty dead. In terms of there's no reasonably priced English right backs at the moment.
Jed Spence. Anyway,
absolutely not.
No, you wouldn't have Jed Spence.
Nah,
it's not about having him. It's the fact that Daniel Levy charges 50 million just for the sit down.
It's not even that. I think
we get him for less. I think we get him for less because he's their third choice fullback.
But isn't that saying enough?
But they jack the price up because they know we're short on the quota. That's the only thing that concerns me.
Aren't we overloaded with too many foreigners at the moment?
Well, if we want to bring in players, yes.
Potentially, we might be, yeah. We might be.
And especially with our outgoings seem to be all English at the moment.
Get Trafford. Get him in.
I'm not against it. At the moment, I'm going to stand by it. We should be keeping Ederson as number one, but maybe we should be having a chat with him and say, look, we don't know what Ederson's doing yet, right? But what we do know is we want you. We want you as our second choice at very least to become our first choice season after next.
Why don't we sign him? And if Ederson stays, loan him out back to Burnley for a year in the Premier League.
Yeah,
maybe. Then he can come the year after.
That could work.
Because I know he's obviously at the moment very heavily linked with Newcastle, is it? And are they willing to make him first choice?
Newcastle definitely will. Pope's made of biscuits, and they can't rely on
but
what's his name, the Slovakian
guy. Senior keeper.
Dubravka.
I think it'll be genuinely a 50-50 split on who gets that first choice position out of those two.
Yeah, I do hear what you. This is a thing. I do feel like if he goes Newcastle, he's not straight walking in there as their number one. I think Pope will be their number one, and he'll be the understudy.
To be honest, I'm quite shocked United hasn't come in for him. To be honest.
Oh, don't say that. I'll be fucking.
No, I know, but it's one of those things where it's that they need a number one keeper. I'm not sure how they're doing on the English quota as well. Actually, they're probably doing a little bit better than we are. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me if another Premier League club kind of comes in for Trafford.
Yeah. Oh well.
Would you take Donnarumma, Nick?
No.
Yeah, he's class. He's actually class.
You would
if we want a genuine shot stopper, especially if we're going to play this more aggressive kind of wing backs pushing up.
No one knows what Pep's going to do.
Hence Alan, I'm saying we
do know what Pep's going to do.
Yeah.
Pep's got 2 years left and he's leaving. He's confirmed. Pep's confirmed he's leaving after this contract. So we do know that Pep's confirmed he's having a break after this contract. So we do know we've got 2 years left as Pep.
But my thing is, it's like realistically, if we are changing this kind of system and we are playing again aggressive kind of wing backs, and again we may be susceptible to getting hit on a counter. Why not have a great shot stopper instead of someone that's unbelievably gifted with their feet? I'm not sure where you boys stand on the Donnarumma one, but I think he'd be
look, we know he's a great shot stopper, but for me, it's not good enough with his feet.
So long as Pep's still there, there's no other keeper for Pep than Ederson.
Yeah. It's the whole thing of the style of play. It's the style of play.
If Ederson moves on, would you entertain the idea of Donnarumma?
No, I'd rather have Trafford than that.
Oh,
I mean,
I would. He plays with his feet, mate, and he's brilliant with it.
Yeah, but Donnarumma's no slouch with his feet either. Trafford's also doing it at the moment, the Championship, which is, as you know, it's a big drop off compared to what you're facing.
He's a Premier League player now. He's been promoted.
Yeah,
he got promoted.
He's also been relegated. So
when he was 19 years of age.
Same, mate. And until he does it and improves it in the Prem, then
I've confidence in the young lad. PSG do.
Oh, I'll take your confidence. You've backed him and you've watched him so many times, Alan.
Because Alan and confidence are rare as hen's teeth.
I just can't see it happening as well. It's one with me sometimes. I do look at. I just think Donnarumma, the amount he'd want. He'd want a lot of money. I think that would probably put some of the squad's nose out a little bit. Look, the fact is, Ederson's still on 90k after X number of years. If Donnarumma comes in and his first contract is substantially higher than a lot of players in the team, there are going to be a few people looking sideways at that.
Yeah, $250,000 straight off the bat, I reckon. Minimum.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. He comes in and demands that, and there's going to be a few people there going, hold on, what's going on here? The style of play I don't think suits us. Look, I wouldn't be mad if we get him because he's a fucking great goalkeeper, but I just think overall, I probably would. Like I said, sorry, Did anyone see the Zubimendi goal yesterday?
Yeah.
What was Costa doing for that?
Yeah, he looks like he has a fair few mistakes in him, the old Costa. He looks unbelievable at moments, but...
Yeah, he looks very... Like, the way... It just looked pathetic, the way he came out for that. It was a bit... I don't know about that, you know. For me, I'm here for Trafford. I am here for Trafford, but I'm here for Cherki as well, people. Nick, what are you saying on Cherki? Are you me? Are you nervous or are you...
I'm starting to get nervous. Obviously, it's City kind of... City negotiations tend to be slow and drawn out. So the fact that we pretty much have until tomorrow night to get it done.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah, that concerns me a little bit.
You know what's going to happen, Alan? Alan, you've got... You carried on for the first 20 minutes saying, I don't believe it until they're holding the shirt. Yet I know for a fact, as soon as you wake up tomorrow morning and Fabrizio's given a here we go, you're going to turn around and say, oh, no, I believe it. It's all going to happen. Everything's falling into place.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where I can see us haggling.
I hope I wake up in the morning. And it's all done with Cherki. I'll be happy.
Do you know?
They'll be dicking about for fucking weeks.
We haven't been dicking about for fucking weeks. We've only been linked with it for about 8-9 days, right? Yeah. Now, this is what I was going to say. Why are we like this, right? Why are we like this? And we've actually got a history of getting players. Yes, we have failed on some players, right? But we also have history of getting things done. There's a fan base kind of across one motorway from us, right, that have been fucking about for 3 weeks, right? And they're still uber confident they're getting their player when they never get players, right?
The one thing that does concern me, and I'm not sure if you guys are in the same boat or maybe it's just me, I think with the whole Vert situation and Liverpool still not closed off, I think that concerns me.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we went in there and robbed him?
No, I'm worried the other way around. Alan. I'm worried they come in and rob us.
But could they come in and this is what I meant earlier when I was saying about pissing Cherki off, right?
Yeah.
If we wait for this Club World Cup, because the Club World Cup is a City and Chelsea thing as far as Premier League teams, right? Now, this whole notion that we'll walk away, we don't need to rush it for the Club World Cup. Well, if there's no Club World Cup there, Cherki will be upset because he's already said he wants to play in the Club World Cup. I get he's also said that he wants to come, right? But he's got his eyes on that Club World Cup. Now, if we piss Cherki off and if Liverpool get pissed off with fucking Leverkusen, what's to say that all of a sudden Liverpool don't go, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's go in for Verts. For Cherki. And I'll be honest with you. I don't want Verts now.
No, neither.
I don't want Verts, right? And this is not me saying I've watched Verts a bit more and I think that Cherki's better than him. Verts has made it clear which club he wants to join and it wasn't ours. I don't want him now. If you don't want to come to us, then fair enough. So
I think I wouldn't be so worried if Cherki...
The message.
Let Nick finish. Let Nick finish.
Sit back.
Yeah, sorry, lads. I was going to say, the thing that has worried me as well is that first game where Cherki really lit it up.
Yeah.
That made me think, fuck, like other clubs are going to take note of that, especially performance. And they're going to be sniffing around. I guarantee like PSG or Madrid have definitely tried their hand at kind of getting back in the race. But at the moment, again, he has said he wants us.
I think that's a good thing now that he... You know, he's not playing now.
Yep.
Hopefully, he will be pushing this a bit more. He'll have his agent on Redal. Basically, what I'm imagining right now is right. You see how I'm refreshing Twitter every couple of minutes, making sure that no news.
Now we know where your panicking's coming from, man.
Yeah. Well, I hope that Cherki is doing the same thing with his agent. Chat, right? He's just refreshing to see if his agents told him. That's what I'm imagining. While I'm checking to see if Cherki's coming, Cherki's checking to see if Cherki's coming.
I'll throw one to you, lads. I'm not sure if, again, maybe I'm thinking like a bit outside the box, but even with the whole Reijnders one where the the fact that he was waiting until after his game to kind of fly to Manchester. I know he obviously has to fly back and he's got one more game, but do you think it is also City kind of being a bit cautious with there's a chance that they could pick up an injury or something like that?
No, because it's right. So it's the way that things are done is that so you agree. The way it seems to be happening at the moment is you agree personal terms in principle with the player.
Yeah.
Then you negotiate with the club, right? Which doesn't involve the player. Now, Cherki one might be a bit different because of that weird gentleman's agreement. But generally, the way it's happened with Reijnders and Ait Nouri, I can tell you, agreement with the player. Then, okay, player, you can go off and do your thing, right? Yep. And that's why they were away with their international squads. They were doing their thing while City negotiated with the club. Right. And that's the bit that confuses me when people say, oh, but, City couldn't negotiate because Cherki was playing international football. But the negotiations, not with Cherki, the negotiations with Lyon. Right. Yeah. Now, what happened with Nouri and Reijnders is the medicals were booked in, I think, about 1 or 2 days before. They then flew in, did the medicals, signed the contract. And Ait Nouri and Reijnders then, well, I don't know about Reijnders, but Ait Nouri is then flown back out to link up with the international team again.
Reijnders did the same, yeah.
Reijnders did the same. So both of them, and they'll both be announced today. The contracts are signed. It's just an announcement, right? The fact the club has not announced either of them yet, I'm just praying that's because they want to get the Cherki one done and they want to announce all three at the same time. Because that would kind of go with a bit what Khaldoon said. Clear Swift before, so he can go. As I said, a picture of Khaldoon with those three is fucking, here we go. I told you what would happen before the Club World Cup, and here's what's happened, right? It's quite a powerful picture.
Let's just hope that happens.
Let's.
You know what? Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to throw a massive curveball into this and just look at, I think we're sort of missing a point here too, and there's certain streamers, ones who may have the finger on the pulse a little bit, depending on how you look at it.
Yep.
But what do we look at with social media these days? There's always someone who's sort of ahead of the curve, basically has their finger on the pulse. It does it in a way that nobody else does. Attracts attention, sort of ITK, that sort of thing. And we're always waiting on every word that they say when it comes to new signings and things like that.
Fabrizio Romano.
It's Fabrizio Romano. Yeah. What is not to say that the deals are pretty much already done? This guy's just holding off from giving us the information because he knows he's going to have millions of people clicking on his account.
But Pat,
I think there's method. I think there's method to this. I think a lot of these signings are usually done and dusted. They just drag out as long as they can to get as many clicks and as many followers as they can.
I was going to say, Pat, on that, you only have to go back and look at the Josko Gvardiol deal when Fabrizio announced it early and pretty much almost completely ruined the deal. So I think, especially someone like Fabrizio always wants to be the first to kind of get that announcement out there. So I don't think he's the kind of person that would sit on something like that.
Yeah. I hear it. Right. Sorry, just one super chat from Akash Daz. Sorry, this did come in earlier. Says City really took the weekend break for some reason. I hear you. It's like it was frustrating me at the weekend. Although there weren't. I mean, I know that there were 2 medicals done this weekend. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. What did surprise me is when people started. Maybe they were in a different. So people were who was it that tweeted? City Extra tweeted last night at about 9:30, and that was off the back of someone else tweeting saying, today Manchester City are going to reopen negotiations with Lyon. And it was like 9:30 last night, and I was thinking, weird time to start business. Maybe they were based in another part of the world, but it was weird. Appreciate the super chat. And Charlie, I don't get this one, Charlie. You don't need to super chat back in. It's probably going straight over my head, so if one of you guys can explain me. Clearly Game 2 Masterclass loading. Anyone know what that means? Charlie, if you can put in the comments, you don't need to super chat it, just so I know what you mean by that.
I was going to say, have you lads touched on Livramento at all yet?
No, not this show,
No. Please do. Appreciate the super chat, Charlie. If you can let me know.
I want everyone's opinion on Livramento as a player, and would you be happy paying 80 mil for him?
Alan?
Brilliant player. Brilliant fullback. Newcastle will not sell.
Pat?
Everyone has a price. 80 mil is a bit steep for a player who's just sort of come out of Southampton's ranks in 2 seasons. And yes, he is on the improve, but is that improve worth 80 million? I'm not too sure. But at the same time, given the way we've been working with our business so far, I kind of am okay with the club. Well, I mean, I want to say I'm okay with the club, but at the end of the day, it's their money. But if we have to spend a little bit more, given that we've been really good with the costings or pricings of the players that we brought in, I don't mind I don't really have much of a problem if they were to spend a little bit more to get somebody through, especially if it's English quota too, because we all know how ridiculous English quotas are with taxes and Premier League proven and all that sort of stuff. So I'd have him because I don't really know anybody else that realistically that's out there on the market that could probably do as good a job as Livramento. Otherwise, if you're going to go, wait a second, Alan, if you go outside of Livramento, then you're going unrealistic for players like Hakimi and things like that. So
yeah.
Go on, Alan. What were you going to say?
Where's this fantasy 80 million come from?
Well, that's a rough idea of what kind of Newcastle want around.
Yeah. It's not Alan.
Have they said that?
I think it's come from some of their journalists that it's around it.
Alan, what I would say is that what they have said is that they don't want to sell him. He's a key part of their squad. However, if an astronomical offer came in, they would consider it. They've said that, right? Yeah. So I think 8 million. I think. I like Livramento a lot. Obviously, yes, homegrown. That's important. Ticks the box. But also can play on the left, can play on the right. For me, was one of the better fullbacks in the league last season. Season before, kind of when he first got there, thought he was good as well. For me, I hear you. 8 million is a lot of fucking money, right? A lot of money. But if we look at it, if we look at another option being Cambiasso, right? So, firstly, we know that English tax is a thing, whether we like it or not. Homegrown is a tax, and people say it's around about 15-20 million tax, right? Okay, cool. So we're talking, if Livramento's 80, Cambiasso 60, right? I'm pretty certain in in January, they were asking for round about 65 million for Cambiasso. What I've recently read is that a new owner has just come in, and that the new owner is now saying that Cambiasso is actually
not for sale.
Not for sale. They want to keep him. So if they're asked, they're going to probably be asking for about 65 million for Cambiasso, at which point I say, go and spend an extra 15 million and get the homegrown quota sorted.
Yeah.
And do you know what also, I mean, Nick, what you're saying here, this club just spent over 100 million when expectation was for 300 million in the window. In January, we spent 160, 170 million. How much was Kuzanov?
45 million.
Right, if we can spend 45 million on Kuzanov, by the way, this is not Kuzanov slander. I think Kuzanov's mint, but Kuzanov is far less proven than Livramento is. So I think, and I heard LB and Nobbin say something that I think spot on, right? This transfer window, we can't look at it on every single player on an individual basis, right? We have to look at the overall, right? Everything we get for the money. Now, we're getting, even if we end up paying 35 million for fucking Cherki, right? We've still saved nearly 100 million from what we were going to do, which was getting fucking Verts, right? That's why I think we're being linked with Livramento. I've said this repeatedly. We were being linked with Wesley as a right back at 40 million. We're now being linked with Livramento at 80 million. Why? Because the budget we had put in there, and like Nitin said, 300 million budget we got told there was. A lot of that budget has been able to be realigned elsewhere. And so, if we have to pay over the odds on one, you go, well, do you know what? You have a budget. When you buy a house, you have a budget, right? X amount for the house, X amount for the painting and decoration, X amount for the furniture. if you make a saving on something, you'll often go, well, do you know what? That means I can go and get a slightly nicer bed or something, right? And I think we have to do the same. If we have to pay over the top to get a quality right back, we pay it. I'd pay it, me personally. I would.
Yeah.
So what? We've basically spent what, close to 120, 150 odd?
Well, if we get Cherki.
If we get those three.
Yeah.
Okay. And if, again, say we do have a budget of 150 roughly.
Yeah.
You could realistically go out and get a Livramento and a keeper if need be.
Trafford.
You're going to die on this hill, aren't you?
You thought...
I want him. I want him, mate. Seriously, I want him.
Oh, it's interesting. This is Alan. You're happy with his attitude now? Oh, sorry, no, we're not talking about Cherki. We're talking about Trafford. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Cherki. I've got Cherki on my mind. I'm sorry. It's like Chris.
Mate, you'll be looking at your phone every 20 seconds. You're like Cherki.
Mate, I think it's Christmas time. I'm looking for dinner. I can't lie.
Mate, do me a favor, wake me up and let me know if we've got him or not.
Yep, Christmas in June. Roll out the Cherki.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do eat turkey all year round. You know, turkey's cheap.
Nice turkey. Nice.
Yeah, I make turkey curry quite a lot. Turkey minced curry. Yeah.
I like a good crispy pork belly though. Oh,
not bad.
There's a local place, like a Vietnamese bakery down the road from me, does one of the best crispy pork rolls. Oh my god. I'm talking about it now. I'm having one for lunch tomorrow. 100%.
There we go. Anything else you want to talk on, Nick, apart from Livramento? While I quickly refresh my Twitter feed one more time.
No, you're right. I was going to say, again, probably more to do with outgoings. I see, obviously, Jack is probably, again, most likely on his way out. Do you think there's a world in, or is there any of the, like a surprise name that you think leaves City this summer that people aren't kind of talking about yet? Obviously, Jack and Kev are the kind of ones linked at the moment. Who else? Stones. But is there a surprise that you think leaves that isn't on that list?
Doku.
Yeah?
I was going to say Doku.
Doku would be the one that would probably... I'm like that on Doku. I could see maybe a Doku move. Yeah.
If the Rodrigo rumors don't go away.
Yeah, that's kind of still floating around.
What, Rodrigo to City? Sorry, just seeing this super chat as well from Citizens Media. Appreciate that. If we save money from not getting Verts, then full send on Livramento. That is exactly what I'm saying. We've saved money in one place, and that should be what we do. That we should be. We know how City do. We've seen it documented, how City do business. They have say they need 4 positions. They have their top 5 in each position. And the board and Pep, Viana ultimately and Tiki will come back to Pep and say, look, with the budget we've got, we can get your number 1 in one of those positions and your number 2 in one of those positions. The other 2, you're going to have to get your 4th or 5th choice. Because we've probably gone from Verts, our top choice, to Cherki and saved so much money, the board probably had that meeting and said, look, Pep, we can now go and get your number 1 right back. And that's what I think we should do. We should go and get it.
Just looking at the chat, it looks like a lot of people are open to selling Doku potentially. I've seen a few Akanji shouts, even a couple of Lewis.
Do you know what? I think the defence ones are like, for me, I'm still having faith in Ake. I know Ake gets injuries, but
I agree with you totally.
I think Ake comes in and puts a shift in. Ake's also homegrown.
Ake's one of the most consistent in terms of players we've signed since we got him. Ake has been the most, probably shout the most consistent player.
Yeah.
Never puts in less than about a 7.5 out of 10 every game.
That's right back or centre back as well. I know he is injury prone, but he's homegrown. He's less injury prone than John Stones. For me, John Stones and Grealish are 2 interesting ones because of the wage they're on. That I think, Stones and Grealish could both end up at Everton.
Yep.
Actually, me and Cass were just having this conversation, right? So I've said that Grealish wants to stay in, Grealish's other half wants to stay in the same house she's in. She loves all the edge. She loves the house. She wants to stay there, right? It's their dream home. If he goes to Everton, she don't have to move. It's just across the way. New stadium. He will be their first choice. Probably in a 10 role. Exactly where he wants to be, and he's got he's got 6 months, 7 months to prove himself in time for that World Cup squad. Could you see Grealish being up for it? Yeah,
it's new stadium as well.
Yeah, good. I was just going to say that, Alan. It's a good signing for them to bring it to that new stadium.
And it's a nice ground as well.
Look, he's going to go there. I think I'd be surprised if the Everton thing does start picking up some legs. I'd be surprised if Villa don't come and have a little chat on him. I would.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
because Villa didn't pick up the option for Rashford, and they I think paid either all, if not a hefty amount of his wages that he's on at United.
Yeah,
I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem being able to pick up his wages. Wages if he went there, whether it be a loan, whether it be permanent. Yeah.
I was going to say, lads, looking at the chat again, people are still going off on who they think kind of would be sold. Touching on Doku is a really good one the other day. I was sitting there the other day just scrolling through YouTube, and a highlight clip of Doku before he came to City popped up. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go back and watch it and see, again, just kind of what got City so excited about him. And I love watching Doku. I think he's exciting. He gets people off their seat. But the only difference in Doku from then to now is his dribbling's gotten better. That's it.
Right. So no Pep ruining him, to confirm. No Pep ruining him. It's not that all of a sudden he used to be a goal-scoring monster that got mad assists and created bare chances. Look, I by the way, just because I mentioned Doku, don't think I want Doku sold. I actually would like to keep Doku. I think Doku is a great plan B, right? Off the bench. We've seen it this season. He's come on, he's changed games. So I would not sell Doku. However, and do you know what? I'd probably say that the good thing, right, from my point of view, wanting to keep Doku, the one thing I would say with him is his position for Belgium is pretty nailed on at this point. I don't think he's in a position where he has to move to keep that Belgium spot. So, and I'm presuming Belgium qualified for the World Cup, by the way. Actually, no, we don't know yet, do we? We don't know yet.
Some teams only played their first game.
Yeah, it's all very weird. Don't you think that's weird, isn't it? It's usually we're a lot closer to knowing.
Well, you know what it means. It means that we're going to have to deal with another 6 or 7 international breaks. You know, over the next, say, 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
Which is going to be frustrating.
I wouldn't sell Doku, but you know,
I would be surprised if someone comes in for him.
That would be the thing. And if we were to get a winger, if we were to go and get a Rodrigo, I personally don't think we're remotely in for Rodrigo. I think that's
we need a lot of things to go right that are sort of beyond our control.
Yeah. Never know. Do you know what? I could be completely wrong, and second window City could actually be a thing, and we could end up going in for him. But just last one, I was gonna move on to this. Nick, who would you sell, Ake or Akanji?
Neither.
Akanji, based on 2 things. Obviously, the homegrown quota, and I think personally, right now, you'd get more for Akanji than you would Ake. I'd be happy to just run down Ake's contract.
I agree with you on that. I'm not. Okay. Right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Let me just have one last quick look at Twitter, see if there's any more news. Right. 624 of you in here, 378 likes. People, let's get those likes over 400. All I need is 22 of you that have not hit the like button yet to give the like button a push. Please give it a check. Make sure your like button is lit. If we can get it up over 400 before the stream ends, that's going to do great things for the watch back numbers. So please give that a check. Right now, let's have a quick look at. We'll go with City Extra because they're usually on the ball with everything else.
Just while you're doing that, I'm seeing a few people in the chat mention Antonio Nusa from Leipzig.
Yeah,
I think it's Leipzig. Yeah, quality player. Obviously scored an absolute worldie the other day. Wouldn't be a bad left wing option as well if we do go out.
Bit injury prone again, though. Bit injury prone.
He is, yeah.
Hold on, City Extra just retweeted. Oh, City Extra just retweet. I agree, bro. They do just retweet, but the beauty is they retweet anything relevant, so it's the best place to go instead of having to go to 4 different outlets. You can just go to one and see everything. But I do agree they just retweet, but there's nothing more. So do I mainly. They also do a lot of hard work, to be fair to the lads over there. Right, this is going to redirect over to Never a Foul. Where we will be talking more football, not just Manchester City. We'll be talking a bit of everything. I am going to be keeping my eyes on that bird you eat at Christmas. Make sure you are spamming LS Jackson at the end of everything you tweet today. Hashtag LS Jackson. We will be back if there is any more breaking news on Cherki. Until then, I will leave you with this.
وتدخل الفار شفنا الإعادة وتدخل الفار.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Rayan Cherki.